Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are playing, Pillars of Eternity, and we're in Caed Nua. I'm not like a genius of this game, but here's my character. This is what we're going with so far. Oh, neat. I haven't really looked at any of this stuff yet. This is not my exact first time playing, but it might as well be. So, we're going with a coastal Oamoa, or Oamawa? I have no idea how to actually pronounce this character's race. His name's Requin. He's a paladin with the Bleak Walkers, who are like the evil paladin option. But over here it's got like reputation and stuff, things I haven't even looked at yet. Anyway, we're in Caed Nua. It's going to be fun on a bun. Just want to say to my viewers that I threw my back out somehow at work last night. And so tonight, in addition to my usual enjoying of Old Toby, I'm on a muscle relaxant, which might make me a little extra goofy. Well, that's unusual. Alright, so this is the party I've assembled so far. We're playing on hard mode, which might not be like the best move, given our newness to the game, my newness to the game. But we're going to try to make it work. So I've got a healer, an archer, a backline fighter, a wizard. I think the healer needs to be kind of backline as well. We need another frontline guy. Oh, I pulled all of them at once. Alright. This is what you don't want to do usually in a situation like this. Alright, we'll have the tank come out to meet them. But again, if I can hold them back... Oh, there's way too many to not engage them all. Okay, well, we're going to try our very best. Should I cast some spells here? Maybe. Divine Mark. Bang. Yeah, there's way too many to pull with only one tank character. At least that phantom's almost out. I'm going to hit him with another burning sword. So I was rewatching a bit of my stream from last week, and I love that one of the things I pointed out was that athletics, the skill, dictates what your second wind, which, let's be clear, is basically like a self-heal. How much damage it does. Oh, I keep forgetting to use the pushover effect thing, too. Have I deep sixed any of these guys yet? Doesn't look like it. This one's down to one little bubble of health, near death. Time to start busting out the level 2 spells here, I think. Can that hit all of them? Oh, what are you doing? Don't sit down. Let's use that knockdown effect. I have a feeling it's not really going to work on... I don't want to use all his spells. What do we got for level 1? Dazzling Lights. Magic Missiles. Okay. Try and DPS this guy down. This one's the next lowest. Really don't want to use magic missile anymore, so we won't. Oh, fighter's down again. We were doing better. Ah, priest's down. Well, I didn't want to do it, but I guess it's gonna be more magic missiles. Nothing saying I can't rest. Oh no. Well. Well, only my wizard's left standing now. Oh, he gets stunned on hit? Damn. Okay, well that was close. Again, if I can pull less of that mob, maybe we can do this a little bit easier. Oh, no, that puts everybody in bad positioning. Alright, so there they are. Let's bring our Michael Rooker looking paladin and our priest up here. Well, they all have to come up, let's be fair. I guess if I blow my entire load of spells in here, we can always just rest, so I won't hesitate this time. I'll kick out the DPS faster. Okay, here we go. I only see 4 so far. So that's good. Okay, I see 5 now. Six. Gosh darn it. See, I want to get my guys behind so we can flank or something like that, but unfortunately... Oh man, they're just swarming all around me this time. We're going to go with a second wind here. MRA6 says, hello MRA6. How's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. We're going to drop the hammer on that one. It seems like it's going better, but let's see. Oh, I haven't even dropped that second level spell yet. Let's totes do that. I gotta believe that's gonna polish him off. Rather than put the priest on offense, we'll have him heal. Paladin's out of fire swords, so we'll have him try. How's that spell coming, magic guy? I guess it cast? Yeah, it cast. MRA6 says, I was thinking, or sorry, you're squatting someone? I was thinking that rather that I haven't seen you in a while. Have you been streaming all this time? Maybe I just missed it. There was a 2-week period where I was off. The first week was because of sickness, and then my computer hard drive failed. So I had to do some things to amend that. But outside of those 2 weeks, I've been strong streaming. We finished Final Fantasy VI a couple weeks ago. We started Pillars of Eternity here. But I believe next week is October, which means we'll be taking a pause from this and playing something spooky soon. But yeah, other than those 2 weeks, I've been consistently here. I need to do something to heal. Oh, I don't know if he's gonna... Oh, nice. Still alive. Okay, once again, this seems to be going okay. Who needs a magic missile? This guy. MRA6 says, I don't even know what your time zone is. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time Zone in the North Americas. So, about 5 hours behind Great Britain. I don't know what time zone you're in. For some reason, I assume you're European, but I have no idea. MRA6 says it's 1 a.m. for me, and not sure I'm awake at this time usually. Ah, well. Yeah, so it would be like the Europe timeline. In fact, you'd even be more further east. You'd be... I don't know where you'd be. Paladin needs to self-heal himself. Oh, is he already down? Gosh darn it. Only one left. Oh, wow, we did it. Okay. MRA6 says, time zones tell me nothing, but what time is it for you? It's about 6:15 p.m. I usually start streaming from 6 and I go till 10 on a given Tuesday. Now, with the winter coming, it's a possibility that I'll be doing this a bit more at different odd times like I used to. I'm not really sure. I usually stream in the late night when I do the off streams. But I better quick save this business because that did not go astoundingly well. MRA6 says, okay. Well, this floor seems to be cleared. Or at least this room. As you come to the end of the great hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from a grand throne wrought out of marble. Its masterful artistry out of place amidst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. At your approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carving, permeating the fortress through stone and air. Another watcher in Caed Nua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance. I'm looking for Maerwald. As am I. If you should happen to find him, I would be glad to know of it. Each day his absence brings new dust to my halls, new cracks to my stones. It's It's shameful is what it is. The Earl would never have let it come to this. You are free to search for him here. I will unbar the way. Do I want to ask him anything? MRA6 says, so all the time I watched you, I must have been awake at night. It's true. Late night streams with a Canadian. I appreciate you stopping by, though, even if you're tired. Let's see. You said these were your halls? Not as land as its lord. Oh, sorry. Not as a land is its lord's, more as a child is its mother's. This castle was my design, you see. The Earl appointed me to do it. I was getting on in years. I knew it would be my only chance to build something magnificent. When it was built, I couldn't bring myself to part from it, to go back to my lonely home. I begged the Earl to let me stay, to take care of it. It was all I wanted, and he granted it. Years later, when Barath's usher finally came calling, I begged the Earl to find a way to let me remain, and so he did. Are you imprisoned in that throne? Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more than that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins, one of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul. Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here and all things that are tied to it. There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place. Farewell. Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here. Okay. Bring the party along. Back into stealth and creep into this room. Well, that's weak. Pardon me. As you draw near, the apparition in front of you resolves into an elven woman. Her stringy hair is tied back, and she tugs at a loose thread in her apron. There's a distant, hollow look in her eyes until she notices you. A frail smile descends like a veil over her face. Been out playing the soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas. She turns from you long enough to produce a basket that, like her, is shimmering and semi-transparent. And no complaints. You've got to eat your vegetables if you want to grow up strong and be a real soldier one day. Just like we agreed, right? She watches you out of the corner of her eye. Say nothing. Soldiers are important people. Her voice rises and falls as she bends over the basket. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. She sighs, a spectral strand of hair fluttering. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. She snaps off a shell with a torn fingernail. People like the man who murdered your father. She crushes another husk between finger and thumb. Remind me what happened to, my father. Her brittle smile snaps. Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Audra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our village and killed many people. A pod slips out of her grasp as she jabs the side of her finger with a jagged thumbnail. She says nothing as the skin slowly turns from white to red. Your father was one of them. I see. She drops the basket and turns away, dabbing at her face with the corner of her apron. It's why you'll be a soldier one day, to protect and to avenge. She stares at the trickle of blood on her finger. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here. Okay, that sounds like a fight. If ever I've heard one, it's a ghost mother with torn thumbnails warning you to become a soldier. Anything else worth a looting? I think there was a door over here. Oh, but that leads to a different room. Okay, well. Should I camp? Let's see if I can do another encounter before we camp. Because it would be a bad idea to use my only camping supplies prematurely. I guess I have 2. Love that ghost pig. Space pig? Space ghost pig? Coast to coast pig. Doesn't look like there's anything in here. Something has made a nest out of an old straw and mattress ticking. Cool. It feels as if cobwebs are the only things holding up this rickety old mess. Back downstairs we go. If you're still with us, MRA6, have you ever played this game? Okay, we got one ghost. Oh, we got more than one ghost. Alright, so he's at a level 2 spell, so we gotta be kind of careful with how we do this. That might have been early. Well, the Bunny says, I'm here, just lurking though. MRA6 says, I tried Pillars of Eternity, but wasn't drawn into enough, so I didn't finish it. That's about how it went for me the first time as well. I thought there was a lot to like, but it was pretty intimidating how vast it was. But I think... I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. Okay, this might be a bad idea. Because these guys are... I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is going to be as hard of a fight. But you know what? Let's save the thinking for the eggheads. Second wind immediately. What is happening here? Oh, they're attacking my paladin. Alright, well, we're mopping this up pretty good. I don't suppose I can knock these guys over. Oh, you can. Okay. I don't think I used anything but per encounter stuff there. A quick save. Hey, MRA6 subscribed. Thanks, man. Something wrong with Twitch, he says. I could believe it. Just want to make sure we took everything out in here. This map shows the Darewood's old colonial borders. A settlement called New Dernerid is marked in place of a present-day Defiance Bay. What an old castle. Now MRA 6 is subbing a whole bunch of people. What a guy. Thank you so much, MRA 6. I'm sure all those people will appreciate it. I know I do. Well, while I have you here, MRA 6, like I was saying before, I'm thinking of playing a horror game next month. I don't know if that's your kind of thing, but if it is, do you have any suggestions? MRA 6 is single-handedly funding this channel. Alright, looks like we're going down below here. MRA 6 says I don't remember the name of the horror game that I'm thinking. Can you describe it? The silver trails of slugs gleam inside these barrels. Whoop. Spiders. MRA 6 says Amnesia. That's a good pick, because I own that. Vlad the Bunny suggests Dead Space, which is a game I've never played, but heard good things about. However, I don't own it, which is key. Not to say that these are our only options, but the 3 horror games that I have are Amnesia, Outlast, and it's not really a horror game, but System Shock 2 would also be in the offering. MRA 6 says, I don't know, I do like good games. Amnesia is supposed to be really good. I played it for all of about 10 minutes before I got to any of the monsters. So I feel like that would probably be a lot of fun to watch me probably fail at a lot. Vlad the Bunny says Alien Isolation. I like that game, and I do own it. However, I only have it on PS3, which I can't stream from. It's too bad. I really liked it. I got about to the point where you get the flamethrower, and then I stopped. So it looks like this is going to be just a wackadoodle ambush of spiders here. But I'm ready for it. Oh, so many spiders. So many spiders. Oh, that was dumb. Well, it looks like I successfully only pulled a small group, which is good. Ah, MRA 6 gifted another sub to Vlad the Bunny. He literally is the king of kings. Okay, once again, we're going to try to do this with per encounter spells. Not waste my precious, precious spell slots. Oh boy, okay. Well, they do die quicker than shadows, which is encouraging. How did you get on the back lines? Oh, it doesn't matter. You're dead. Well, the spear spider's not really... Nice. We did it. MRA6 says, no problem. Was just in the... Oh, he's saying this to Vlad. Just in the hope you don't ban me. I mean, knock on wood, but Vlad hasn't had to ban anybody yet. Oh, he just said. Love that coffee. Ooh, spider leg. Okay, so successfully we managed to pull one group and not the other. That worked out for... Oh, there's still so many spiders. I don't know if I can pull another group without pulling the rest. Oh no! Well, I think this calls for a level 2 spell. We'll wait till he gets closer. That might be premature. MR6 used the icon. Or the emoji that I made. That's amazing. Love seeing that little Son of Stapes smoking Toby. Oh, you got the dark theme on, so you can't see my black and white emoji. Well, it's a little cartoon of me wearing a hat, smoking out of a pipe. Someday you'll see it, hopefully. I almost just reposted it, but then I realized that wouldn't help you. Alright, Durance, get in there. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. This is going so much better than those full rooms of shadow monsters. Of course, I am using my abilities more efficiently now. That helps. Nice. We won. I don't think we pulled all of them that time. Just this group. Let's see. So there's still at least 2 more. I'm going to guess there's groups of them in every single cell. Eater's health is pretty low. Let's see here. Maybe I'll give Amnesia a try next month. I think, why are you getting that close to him, bud? Amnesia is usually touted as a pretty good horror game, although it does look a little dated, I have to admit. But I mean, it's over 10 years old now. Okay, that was easy. Nothing even in this room. No. MRA6 says, Amnesia is the only horror game I know of. But there might be something better. Well, there probably are. Well, actually, Amnesia is considered one of the best, historically. The mechanic in Amnesia, in case you're not aware, is that you can't actually fight anything in it. You just basically have to hide and run and hope they don't come after you, which is kind of appealing. Alien Isolation kind of works in the same way. You can't really fight the alien. You can just kind of stun it and send it away once you have the flamethrower. But before that, you can't do anything. The other horror game I have is called Outlast, which is you play a reporter who gets stuck in a crazy ward full of super murderers. It might also be good. It's also considered one of the better ones. Vlad the Bunny says, I quite enjoyed Alan Wake on the 360. I've heard that's a good game. I've watched a couple people play a little bit of it here and there. That's the one with, like, the sunlight effects, right? Alright, well. Even if I pull all these spiders... Oh, and I did. Eee. Just brute force our way through this fight. Got him. I think it might be almost time to camp, friends. This says there's loot for me, but I don't really see it. Alright, let's do it. Let's camp. Ah. I'm in combat. With what? Oh. There's more spiders. Okay, well, we're going to take this brief respite to heal up the party a little. Can we escape this combat?
You cannot venture forth while in combat.
No, I can't. Vlad the Bunny says about Alan Wake, you're a writer and you pretty much have a flashlight to ward off the darkness. Okay, so not sunlight, but a flashlight. Interesting. I'll have to try that game in the future. Well, here we go. Now do I use the spell? No, but I will take one of these guys out with a magic missile. Oh, I really got him. Where did he come from? What's going on here? My mage is getting all kinds of attacked by these spiders. Ooh, got him. Glad the Bunny says, if you had a PS4, Until Dawn would be a fun one. I don't know if I've heard of that one. What's the premise in that one? I bet I could rest now. And probably should. Buddy's health is not good. But I feel like I have to scout. Oh, I sent the wizard to scout? That's not a good idea. New orders, Lieutenant. Ready your squad. The spectral man arrayed in armor and in an officer's cloak studies a single sheet of paper. You can see straight through it to the ducal and Ader insignias on his breastplate. Ducal, I suppose that is. That's a fine cup of coffee. He seems to read over the page several times before looking up at you, and when he does, his expression is unreadable. There's been a change of plans. Take your squad and march south, all the way to the bow in the river. Bring a wagon, team, and a dozen barrels of pitch. His voice falters as he shakes his head. The hand holding the paper drops to his side. Listen. The instructions come from Admeth Hadderet himself, which means they might as well have come from the Duke. He rolls the orders into a thin scroll. We're to burn those hut dwellers out. Set fire to the deerwood so they know where to retreat. Cut them down when they come out and let them blaze if they won't. A ghostly sigh forms a mist in front of his lips. His mailed fist tightens around the rolled paper. It'll make this even shorter than the Broken Stone War, all right. He looks at you, and we can only hope it'll discourage future conflicts. You feel nothing when his hand drops to your shoulder. I know this is personal for you. It is for many of us. But understand, we're doing this to end this war, not to continue the last one. Remember that we're flushing out the enemy, not burning villages for sport. Bereth will have his work cut out for him tonight. Vale says, lurking, no sound on tablet, hi. Hey, Vale. Although I guess you can't hear me. Glad the Bunny says, basically, you are teens in a cabin in the mountains. You have to make choices to keep them alive or they die gruesome deaths. That's kind of fun. I like that premise a lot. Is it like a first-person horror game? Or like third-person or whatever? Okay, so we've descended another level down here of Caed Nua. I really feel like it's time to save. Definitely time to save, maybe time to rest. Racial accuracy bonus, spirit. Yeah, okay. Yep. Glad the Bunny says, so solving puzzle and dialogue choices, it's third person. Neat. I don't know. I also have the Friday the 13th game that was a huge hit last year, but I don't think my computer is strong enough to stream it. It's fairly new tech, and my computer's made of, pretty old parts. But, yeah. It would be a fun one to play. I don't know if people are still playing that, though. Its community was kind of flagging when I last played it, which would have been last year during October, I guess. Although I think I heard they made some ads to it. An elven man turns to face you. His cheeks, his forearms, and the cartilage of his long, pointed ears are smeared with indigo and blue paints. He grins wickedly beneath a thatch of wild hair.
Almost time. Dai and Hedwar scouted the village last night. They're rounding up the rest of the party now.
Say nothing. His phantasmal fist sails through your shoulder.
Don't worry. Everyone remembers the raid was your idea. The Ryle had to go along with it after you'd gotten the rest of the clan riled up. No one wants it, said the Nine Claws were too cowardly. No one wants it, said the Nine Claws were too cowardly to stand with the rest of the tribe when the foreigners desecrated our ruins. I see. The ghostly warrior gives you a long, covetous look. His semi-transparent eyes blaze as they crawl over you. The tribes need more leaders like you. Women who value deeds over words.
He reaches towards your cheek, but stops midway, his splayed fingers quivering as a tremor of doubt runs through him. He drops his hand to his side, instead drawing a notched blade from his belt.
You were right. We were too soft when the foreigners first came, and now they humiliate us. We'll be soft no more, and the invaders will learn to leave us alone once and for all.
Storm's brewing. Locked. Do I have anyone that can open stuff? Doesn't look good. Three lockpicks to open the lock. Well, I guess we'll do it. Oh, a cutscene. We found Maerwald. A large liver-spotted man, barrel-chested and paunchy, cowers in the far corner of the room, his white hair tangled, stringy mess. He covers his face and chest with trembling hands, unable to look in your direction. No! Keep away! Leave us! Maybe we should come back later. Are you Maerwald? He looks up over his hand, his muscles around his eyes twitching, and begins whispering to himself in sharp hisses as though having an argument. All at once he stops shaking, a sudden calmness falling over him. His head tilts forward slightly, and he looks you dead in the eye, like a cornered animal about to pounce. His voice suddenly turns raspy.
Maerwald isn't here, and he isn't fooled. He's sent for no callers. Begone, deceiving spirit.
You better start making some sense right now, or you'll get worse than any spirit could give. The old man turns his body away and has another muttered, sputtered argument facing the wall. When he turns back towards you, he has taken a confident stance. His chest is puffed out like a soldier's. A new strength enters his voice. Maerwald will speak with you, but you will maintain your distance or you'll have me to answer to. The man's posture folds, and the hands he'd held strongly at his sides a moment ago resume their original tremors. His voice is feeble and tentative. Come to speak to Maerwald? Maerwald whose touch is poison? Maerwald who knows not his effect? I was told I'm a watcher and that you could tell me more about it. And about a tablet of some worth after that, once you two are finished, of course. He nods, still half distracted, eyeing the door behind you. A window to the ether where spirits dwell. Peer and reach into it, speak and listen through it. A watcher sees souls, reads them, knows their pasts. Souls of the living, souls of the dead, an empath. He exhales feebly, his breath wheezing. And the souls see them back. Used it to help beings in both realms, did I? What the gods wanted of me, thought I. With a quick spasm, his shoulders straighten and his voice becomes strong. The gods put me in the world for vengeance, and I obliged. He tilts his head forward, glowering at you with his voice raspy. It was the gods' wishes that we protect those lands. My way was the only way to remove the foreigners. He shrinks down and is himself once more. He cradles his face and shaking hands. Little I knew. I was accosted by spirits on my way here. What do they want? Maerwald staggers backward, staring off at some imagined phantom. No! No! Forgive me! Forgive me! He covers his mouth with his hand, his breath's convulsing, his eyes red and exhausted. You seem to have lost your mind. Lost? No. Found more of it. Too much. Too much to bear. An awakening. Aloth's eyes narrow as he looks at the old man. How could a simple awakening have driven you to this? What's an awakening? Many lifetimes we have. Souls enter womb and exit corpse, carry with them all experiences, all knowledge, all identities. Yet we do not remember. Hidden from us. What end? What end? Only the gods know. Certain things can stir memories from lives long buried. Awaken the old memories, the old personalities. Memory, personality, identity, any might resurface. He looks again at the door behind you, or all. And I seem to be having a conversation with several of them right now. He nods sheepish. Ghosts of the mind. Maerwald has lost control. Maerwald's body no more. The spirits I passed, what are they? Spirits and not spirits. Always whispering to Maerwald, reminding him of his mistakes. No sleep. Watchers see memories before them, form them from the essence of their own souls. Once Maerwald awakened, he could not make them leave. Gave them more form, not less. The spirits are memories from previous lives? He nods, a piteous look on his face. Troubled memories, angry memories, pulling Maerwald back, reminding him his mistakes. Marauder and soldier, soldier and marauder, how could they know? I've seen apparitions like those elsewhere since I became a watcher. Tears in Maerwald's eyes. Oh no, no, no. You too? You too. All at once, in spite of his abject misery, his expression changes to one of utmost sympathy. Poor man. Poor man. They will take you too. Aloth's eyes dart between you and Maerwald. What exactly does he mean? Surely something can be done. You're saying I'll end up like you? He pouts as though holding his mouth closed so that the answer won't escape. At length he nods. So fragile the watcher's mind. So real his memories. Once awakened, how can he sleep? How do you tell a spirit from a memory? Fragmented are memories, stuck in time, mindless, cruel, never far. If I'm awakened to a past life, how would that have happened? You were reminded of it. Strong memories, lingering lives, they dwell near the surface, waiting to be remembered, waiting to take your mind for their own. Maerwald sat at his hearth and watched his fire, watched the wood burn. Then came the memory of another fire, and burning wood, and screams. His face trembles involuntarily. Why do these past lives still trouble you? My fault. All my fault. Soldier and marauder, soldier and marauder and Maerwald. No forgiveness for what's past. No undoing what's done. He looks at you, baggy-eyed and lost. No sleep. No sleep for the watcher. War there was all around. War of stone, war of tree. War of tree, oh, of course, the Broken Stone War and the War of Black Trees. This was in the early period of Adrian colonization, fighting between the Deerwood colonists and native Glanfathans, you see. But that was a long time ago. Death we brought to the settler men, we the 9 claws, claws of the 9. Worse what we did to the women, for love of the gods love, for their love. I met one of your memory spirits. There was talk of raiding a village. Maerwald's voice becomes raspy, and he is somewhere else in place and time, speaking to someone unseen.
Hold it down, Headweir. Give this Ada bitch an air that belongs in Air Glanfath.
Maerwald cringes himself again, watching something that he can't bear to see. Shaking his head over and over, he wails. His soul is marked by flame, and those marks will never heal. His trial has broken him, but better than that to live on in weakness. You were a monster. You deserve this, even for a past life. That's a possible one. I could just say go on, I suppose. Let's catch up with the chat. Oh, Glad the Bunny says, Friday the 13th looked fun, but looks like it would get boring fairly quickly. Maybe. I kind of liked it. I was grinding up, I mean, I guess I quit before I got anywhere near max level, so maybe I'm wrong. But it's pretty fun when people are actually playing the game and aren't dicking around, which the more and more as the game went on without upgrades or updates, it was just more of that. So, like, with a very simple premise game like that, if people are dicking around, it loses a lot of its appeal really quick. Also, my rig wasn't super well equipped to play it when I was playing it before. It's better for me now, but it still isn't stream worthy, I don't think. Go on. His voice thins to a cracking whisper.
The boy, the baby boy, the boy. Conceived in the raid, conceived by force. Vessel for marauder, slain in the raid. Marauder and the boy, marauder and soldier.
A baby conceived by the raider? What do you mean it was a vessel for him?
For the soul. Marauder's soul. Same soul, one soul. Boy's soul, marauder's soul. Raised in lies and vengeance. Raised to soldier. Raised for the fire. Born for the fire.
Raised for the fire? Maerwald straightens up, his voice deep. He speaks to some invisible thing.
You'll get no pity from me. The crimes of the Nine Claws clan in the last war are still unavenged, but the gods are just. They've led me here. In my father's name, every one of you will burn.
He looks off to his side as if at someone else standing nearby.
Light it.
Alof looks at the old man in horror. Bay the usher's crooked ban. Maerwald's shoulders slump. He rocks back and forth, agitated. He mutters to himself, oblivious to your presence.
Soldier and marauder, lies and vengeance and dead villages. All dead. All dead.
He looks at you.
What for? What for?
You speak in riddles. I don't have the patience to try and understand. He shakes his head bitterly.
How little we know.
There must be some way to make these memories go away.
No, always there, always remembered. Can't forget, can't unsee.
I didn't just remember. Someone caused this. They wore masks and spoke of books and keys and a queen. There was a man there. He seemed familiar to me.
Keys of lead, books of burden, queens that were. Known to me are they, the leaden key.
Holy crap. MRA just signed up a whole bunch more people for subscriptions. MRA6 says, wow, your rig is superb, especially in the voice department. Oh, thank you, MRA6. I'm really glad that people enjoy me reading these games. It's nice to know that my gimmick is appreciated, and very appreciated at that. Thank you so much, MRA6.
The leaden key. It seems we share an enemy, Requin. Assassins and Watcher Wakers both. They certainly keep busy.
Who is this queen they pray to?
Woedica, goddess, crown shattered and body burned, binder of oaths and grudge holder, bearer of justice. But whose?
What can you tell me about this leaden key?
Secrets. Secrets and deceptions and schemes. Who knows their answers? Not they. Not they. Crossed them before. Hatred of watchers. Hatred and fear. Much we see. Threat to secrets.
If the leaden key caused my awakening, could they undo it? Maerwald's bushy white eyebrows edge upwards. He begins muttering to himself. Just as you are ready to repeat your question, he speaks.
Many secrets do they keep. Unawaken? Mayhap. Who else if not they?
Do you know where I might find the leaden key?
City of Defiance. Never far from the Queen.
I need to go so I can search for this man from the leaden key. Maerwald nods at you, a look of understanding on his face.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
Before you turn to exit, he tilts his head forward. His eyes lock with yours, cold and dangerous, his voice gravelly.
Hold! I know your will die. Your actions were seen. You would sooner betray us to the Aegir land thieves than take orders from me.
I don't have time for this. I will beat you senseless, old man.
Your betrayal is for nothing. Your warnings are lost on these foreigners, and their blood will be Gallowin's tribute this night. I have asked the elders for the honor of claiming your head as my first trophy, and they have granted it. Beg for the Seeker God to grant you a quick death.
And we go. Oh, and he's fireballing me or something? That's bad. Okay, so he summoned a fire elemental. We're going to back our line up a bit. Oh! Jeez Louise. I don't know what's happening right now, but... I should probably not be focusing on the Flame Blight. Oh, look at that, 127 damage. And it's still standing. Barely injured. Can I get behind it? Alright. New plan. Paladin's second wind is down. I can't imagine using a flame sword on the fire elemental is a good idea. I'm going to cast Magic Missile. Ooh, burning hands all up in my grill. Can I knock him over? You need a new spell to cast, bud. It doesn't look like I can knock him over. Or maybe I just failed to. Maerwald's almost down. But so is Requin. Ooh, holy fire. Requin is down. Adar's about to go down as well. Did Durance go down too? Uh-oh. Well, second wind worked at least. I'm going to cast Magic Missile. He's still standing. Couldn't knock him over. Got him. There's a change in the air of the keep. What was thick and suffocating feels to you somehow more breathable, as though yielding to a conquering invader. Maerwald's body lies inert. It actually lies in giblets all over the floor, but that's okay. You can feel his soul lingering there, uncertain. There's something unique about this soul in this place, a bond formed in decades of inhabitants and lordship that feels somehow palpable to you, as though even in death the keep knows its former master, and the former master remembers his keep. Whoa. Requin was granted Speaker to the Restless. In your mind's eyes, the bond seems to you as a frayed rope, ghostly and alive. Its frayed ends writhing like a tide pool anemones. Anemones? And you find that if you concentrate on it, you have the ability to manipulate its strands. Oh, do I want to keep or delete Maerwald? Draw upon the energy of the rope itself, siphoning knowledge from the connection. Yeah, it sounds like a thing I'd do. You turn both ends of the rope towards you, bringing them into contact with your essence. As you do, the fibers turn to copper, and through them an energy is conducted into your being. You are traveling downward now, beneath the place you stand, seeing places dank and cobwebbed and malignant. Like some unintended garden, overgrown with flora and overrun with vermin. Below everything at the very bottom, you glimpse for an instant some being you can't quite make out, presiding over it all with a brilliant and terrifying power. One image remains in your perception, a circular room with a stone tablet that resembles the sun, in an area guarded by suits of armor that move of their own volition. It is deep, not far from the very bottom. There is a door in that room, invisible to all but the most fastidious of eyes, and beyond it, something shimmering, something powerful. As the image fades, you find yourself in Caed Nua once more. Maerwald's soul is nowhere to be seen. We did it! Not really sure how this whole thing with loot works. The sickly sweet smell of rot rises from this half-eaten fruit. Hey, I love money. Didn't get any level ups from doing that, though. Oh, look at this. Kinda wants to talk to you.
Poor Maerwald. He couldn't contend with all that he knew of himself. A cruel fate.
He was weak. I won't end up the same way.
That's the spirit. We'll have a look at that church he talked about. I look forward to finding out what the Leaden Key's involvement in all of this is.
Keep going a little Romanian with Canna, but I'm trying to be Islander because he's a Moa Moa. You con what the Alder said? I don't want to discuss it. Alright. Well, more rooms here. And a rack. Pike. Wood beetle. Back it up. Back it up. Whoa, there's a lot of them. Good thing I saved that spell. How are we doing here, guys? Oh, Durance is getting the crap kicked out of him, which is bad. Oh, Durance is down. Time to burn you with a flaming sword, bud. Especially bad that Durance of all people got knocked out there. Badly injured, barely injured, injured. Okay, wizard's out of spells. That's real bad. See if I can knock this bitch over. Oh, we did it. Oh, my paladin's also down. And that's pretty bad. Beetle's back up. See if I can knock it down again. I don't think I have any potions or anything I can feed this guy. So we might be taking an L here. I hope I save before that Maerwald fight. I knocked it over again. That's got to be worth something. Not much. Oh, he's still up. Ooh, Aloth's almost out. Do I have anything in my inventory? Just a bunch of food. Nope. I don't know if I can kite this thing. It's pretty friggin' fast, and if its buddies are anything like it. Well, he's down. Uh-oh. Don't disengage. He doesn't have athletics either. Oh, this is not going to go well. It's badly injured. Ooh. Ah. Quest failed. Oh, because he died. Well, I can't be having my party members die. Rainer Zufal says... Cross. Oh, rip pepperonis. Oh, I gotta go through that whole Maerwald thing again. That was the autosave. Maybe I have a quick save that's better. What do you know? I do. Welcome to the stream, Rainer Zufal. Nice to have you back. This time, let's not pull those stupid beetles. There's spiders in that room. And a poop load of beetles in this one. Ouch. Okay, here we come. You guys get back in the friggin' room. When all else fails, bottleneck. These little guys, I feel confident I can just brute force my way through. Although my paladin has taken the hits, which is not what you want. Beetle shells. Okay, well, I dare say that worked out better. Rainer Zufal says, do you have spell books Aloth could learn spells from? I just picked one up from Maerwald. The trouble is I'm out of camping supplies at the moment. I guess you've played this game before then. How many beetles we got left in this room? Run, run, run. Just the one beetle now? Well, we can kick the crap out of one beetle. Alright, here comes the big guy. Ah, so that's what that does. Speaks directly to the souls of his enemies, filling them with dread of what awaits them in the wheel. So I guess that's a fear spell of some kind. Start kicking out the jams, bud. Got him. Rainer Sufal says maybe, though not as much as BG by far. Well, we're in the same boat there. Although I've not. We're almost as far as I ever got in this game already. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. All right, Adar. It's so weird that my tank is also my scout. Oop, more spiders. Oh, what do we got here? Looters and gold pack knights. Interesting. We'll be coming for them. That's a room full of spiders. Oh, that's it, little buddy. Follow me out of the room. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, no, no, no. Ah, we all get webbed. But we've created a natural bottleneck at the door, which you know I'm a fan of. Although Ader's looking pretty hurt right now. Adar's not going to take another hit. Well, let's see if a good offense can be a good defense here. Nope. Adar is down. Requin. Alright, we got it down to one spider. Let's see if my party can take it out before it takes us out. AKA the eternal struggle. We did it! So many spider legs. Sure would be nice if we could rest before we fought those looters. Oh, I don't know why I'm sending him alone. Out of scouting mode. Cobblestones and bricks are bound to the rusted old cart by thick spider webs. Cape of Deflection. I know who that's going on. Ah, kobolds. And a magic barrier. What? Let's take a look at the old journal here. Speak with the Stewart of Caed Nua. I guess we need to go back upstairs. Rainer Zufal says Canna can also cast spells for every verse he manages to sing. Those spells do not need to get replenished by rests. Is the spell based on the chant? I thought they were automatic.
Aye, you're right. No sense listening to that old bam pot.
What's going on with the wizard? I felt Maerwald's passing. You slew him? The old fool was barking mad. I did him a favor. The steward is silent a moment. The air seems to chill. It saddens me to hear it, but part of me is grateful to no longer have to wait and worry in the darkness. This place has always known its master, long as it's had one. It has a will of its own, which has little to do with the castle and much to do with the land it's built on. It looks to you as Maerwald's successor now, whether you care for it or not. A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed. But in the right hands it could be so much more. If only you'd seen it in its day. Will you? Will you stay? I've always wanted my own keep, even if it is a little cursed. You feel the same emanation of warmth and energy in the air. Then it is yours, my lord. I cannot begin to tell you how glad that is, how good it is to know that the keep is in capable hands once again. I suppose I should mention first that if you mean to travel to Defiance Bay for supplies, there has been a complication of a kind. The Eastern Barbican collapsed decades ago, and Maerwald never got around to rebuilding it. The road here is a dead end. He got as far as gathering materials before he became preoccupied. I could make arrangements to have it repaired if it is your will. When it ceased to be the previous master's will, I became powerless to do anything about it. For what am I but the master's instrument? It would take time, but far less than finding another route to Defiance Bay. How do I repair the Barbican? Maerwald set aside materials for the Barbican, and they are still available to you. In the future, if you wish to make further repairs to the keep, we will need coin for supplies and labor. What does being the master of Caed Nua entail? Why, there are many responsibilities involved in maintaining a keep. The extent to which you wish to get involved is entirely up to you, of course. Part of the reason I am here is to ensure that things run smoothly in your absence, provided we've been given instruction. If you instruct me on the way which repairs you wish to conduct next, I will make the necessary arrangements. These may take time to finish, but each will provide you with additional resources once they're complete. Given somewhere to place them, we can hire tradesmen to provide you with supplies or ingredients. Repairing the keep will raise your prestige and draw both helpful individuals and unwelcome attention from bandits and opportunists. If we can raise the keep's security in turn, these will become less of a concern. You should know, however, that the position does come with some risk. Your name will grow in fame, and you must contend with threats to the keep. And then there are other things. What did you mean when you said this keep was cursed? Maerwald's curse was his own, a watcher's curse, but his predecessors have not fared better. There is a presence within the keep, or rather far beneath it. At least such has been the conclusion drawn by all who have come to this place, for what spirits still linger in the endless paths oft speak of a master below.
Every effort to settle here has failed, from the time of our Adrian colonists onward. Beasts rise from the endless paths, until the new lord and lady or lady is no more. The one who dwells below, this master, does not tolerate rivals, it seems. I have seen, from time to time, intrepid explorers descend to lay claim to what answers they can, but none return. This is the force which has kept Caed Nua a barren ruin, and robbed me of my hopes.
The endless paths, that, my friend, is where I must go, where we must go, if you will go with me. Whatever devils lie beneath, think too what knowledge we will find. Perhaps this master speaks Adrian.
Who is this master below?
I could not say with any certainty. I believe it must be tied to the man said to have been the architect of the endless paths, the Engwithan tyrant, Caed Nua. Some claim his spirit endures, or at least has laid a curse upon the site. I cannot imagine the remains of his work, for the ruins have been here 1,000 years or more. But what is left is impressive. The Earl certainly thought so. You may have seen while below the hand of a great statue Caed Nua constructed. Perhaps it is a statue of Caed Nua himself.
What are the endless paths?
The endless paths of Caed Nua. That is the name given to the labyrinth beneath the keep. The Earl, we were warned by the Glanfathans that this site was cursed, and there is legend attached to it, though at the time we thought nothing of it. The ruins were built, it is said, by a powerful Engwithan named Caed Nua, who ruled there until his people turned against him. They destroyed his endless paths and filled many of the upper tunnels with soil and stone. No one living knows how far down the tunnels stretch, and few who have ventured there have returned. There is much talk of riches and treasure. The promise of Engwithan relics alone has drawn many fortune seekers. To their death, I fear.
I have other questions.
Yes, how can I help?
Time to find this queen in the city of Defiance.
You must know this queen you're looking for. Defiance Bay has no queen. The Mequins of Ader haven't reigned there since the war. The only queen with any power there is Wodica. I am told they erected an exquisite temple in her honor there, but I was never able to see it. If you mean to go there, we can get started right away on repairing the barbican. You need only tell me what you wish to do, and I'll make the necessary arrangements. Maerwald kept a ledger as it happens, and I've taken the liberty of updating it. You could take a look if you wish.
Let me see what repairs I could make.
Oh, pardon me. Then we'll get this underway at once.
The steward's voice belies a giddy excitement.
Know, my lord, that this is but the first and least of a great many undertakings. The keep supported a great many buildings and servants for many years. If you should wish it, we can repair some of the outlying structures, and these will bring you wealth and recognition, drawing people to your service. Rebuilding the defenses will keep your grounds from becoming overrun, as they did under Maerwald's keeping. You need not choose all at once. I am pledged to your aid, and so long as you are master here, we shall always be linked. You need not step upon these grounds to speak with me. Wherever your travels may take you, you can make your will known to me, if you but reach out. Oh, but first, of course, the barbican.
So this is your upgrade screen. It shows you all the different things you can do. So the barbican just instantly is done. And then Bright Hollow. Restoring Bright Hollow will allow you to rest there. That sounds good to me. Other upgrades can unlock resting bonuses for it. Upgrading the main keep will repair your Great Hall, allowing visitors and adventurers to be available for you and your companions. We'll aim for that next. Finished in 2 days. Alright, we have some level ups.
I confess, I was hoping our meeting with Maerwald would go a little differently. But then, you have gained an entire keep. I don't think I've seen anyone inherit land that quickly since Caed the Younger read her father's will.
It appears I'm one of the gentry now.
I wonder. I think Deerwood will be slow to call you Thane or even Lord. Not that you don't deserve the titles, but these things are always complicated. Still, in practice, you are king of the keep. This keep will give you a base from which to go searching, at least, and then there are secrets still to be found beneath the Great Hall.
He grins eagerly.
With you at the helm, it should be easier to explore the endless paths.
Damn right. Bong! Okay, so here we are. Pretty happy with where I'm at in survival. Let's boost athletics a touch and lore a touch. We'll carry 2 points to the next level. Ooh. Let's catch up with the chat here. Rainer Zufal says, depends on settings. I generally only cast manually, and it only depends on the number of sung verses. So that would be in reference to what Canna can do. Unleash a wave of spiritual energy similar to a priest's holy radiance. 1 per encounter. Friendly target. Radius from caster. Apprentice's sneak attack. I have no idea what talents are good to pick up on this character. I took weapon focus last time. By adopting the strict discipline of a fighter, the character is able to pace themselves in combat, steadily regaining endurance over time. Prestigitor's missiles, Outlander's frenzy, Novice's suffering. Paladin defeats an opponent. Nearby enemies are frightened. Ooh. Deep faith. You know, I may wait until after Toby break to do these level ups. Because I think I'm going to need to do a little bit of research on that whole score. What is definitely for sure, though, is that we need to rest. And it's going to be 2 days before I can do that in my new house. Let's see if I can go out here and not get ambushed by ghosts. So speaking of Old Toby Break, it's about 18 minutes before that's going to happen. And if you're not aware, that means I'll be gone for about 20-ish minutes, enjoying a wonderful, delightful old herb that adventurers still smoke to this day. Oh, look, everyone wants to talk to me now. Aloth seems quite lost in thought. He flinches when you draw near, sucking a sharp breath through his teeth.
Requin, what can I do for you?
You've been acting strange. You can start by explaining what's going on. His lips twitch into a flat smile.
I wish I could. But as to walking memories and the old man who can no longer distinguish them from reality, I fear I'm at a loss.
He watches you carefully, and if Maerwald is to be believed, it would seem you've an uncertain future ahead. He was out of his mind. I don't place stock in the ramblings of a lunatic. Aloth snugs his cloak about his shoulders, glancing at you at the corner of his eye.
Perhaps Defiance Bay holds the answers we need.
I want to discuss something else. Aloth looks at you with quiet attentiveness.
How may I be of service?
Tell me about Adir.
I've been gone for more than a year now, but I suspect I'll always think of the forests and fields of Adir as home. We've thousands of years of history and tradition behind us, and there's a sense of dignity and responsibility that comes with that. He frowns. Of course, there's baggage as well. Our imperial past is still fresh in the minds of many, as you may have noticed here.
Has it been difficult? I see.
I shall be glad to return one day, though I'm not sure when that will be.
Any thoughts on what I should do next?
He tugs at his sleeves. Maerwald urged you to go seek out these leaden key agents in Defiance Bay, yes? If his condition is any warning, we should find them with all haste.
That's all.
That old watcher. He shakes his head and chuckles. I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that.
You said you had some things you wanted to ask him.
Nah, it's kind of embarrassing now. I just got a dumb idea in my head is all. Don't know why I thought of it. It's funny, that probably the first thing I got my hopes up for in, I don't know, years. At least I got that out of it.
You were going to ask in front of me anyway. You might as well tell me now.
He sighs. All right, guess fair's fair, and you did bring me to see him. Those rumors back in Gilded Vale about my brother, Woden, about how he'd turned against us and fought for the Wide Wind, been on my mind for some time now. Thing about Woden was, he always knew what was right, and that's what he'd do. One day he set out to fight for Deerwood against a man claiming to be our god. So I knew that's what I had to do too. It was right. Hearing claims that he died fighting for the Red Sarahs, that got me worried. Not that he'd chosen the wrong side, but that I had. Didn't seem right what Waidwin had in store, but if he really was Aethos, he shakes his head. I thought maybe this old watcher would know something about how my brother died, so I could see if it was true. Like he could, I don't know, read it in my soul or something. Use our connection. Told you it was dumb.
Why didn't you ask me for help?
Guess 'cause I didn't know you. It's hard to trust a stranger that says he's a watcher. Of course, I knew the truth deep down. A watcher's not psychic. I think I just had this idea, and the idea made me feel a certain way, and I didn't want to lose that. Really, if I wanted to find out about my brother, I shouldn't be starting with watchers. I should be starting with records.
You should be prepared that there may be no record of your brother's death.
Wouldn't be off any worse then, would I? Adir thinks a moment, his lips twisted to one side. He raises his eyebrows. If there was anything written down about it, they'd have it in Defiance Bay. They got an archive at that palace. You've done a lot for me already, but if you could see fit to pay that archive a visit with me, well, you know. Knowing my luck, the records clerk will go crazy and try to kill me. I'd feel better with you in there with me. Party gained 590 experience. Rainer Zufal says, by the way, there are 4 different categories with level up: class skills, offensive skills, defensive, and support. You were only looking at one page. But as long as you have some spare gold, you can always respec at inns or other places. Think at your keep as well later on. That's good to know.
I did click over to the offensive page, but nothing immediately jumped out at me. All right, everybody's ready to rock now. Okay, we can go to the Wooded Plains, but we're probably going to go back to the Gilded Vale first. Well, we can check out Caed Nua a bit more. Somewhere in here there may be camping supplies. This trapdoor has been battered by the elements. Tugging on the rusted handle only produces a heavy rattling. I get the feeling you can do a lot to manage your party at the end. At inns. Rainer Zufal says camping supplies can be bought at inns and other shops. Also good to know. But I feel like I've played through this area before and found camping supplies somewhere. Frayed lengths of rope and a few flint chips are scattered across this workbench. Could be completely wrong, though, obviously, Rainer. Tangled wires and broken gears litter these wooden boxes. Missed picking that up last time. This is Bright Hollow, which is the place I'm fixing up. Rainer Zufal says, well, some are certainly somewhere. The sour odors of rancid grain and spoiled fruit permeate the air. Dust and rusted utensils cover the something. Rats skitter among the broken stairs. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Doesn't look like I'm going to find a lot of loot in here, though. Shelves creak under the books. Many of the covers are mottled with mildew. Mottled. Cobwebs bind the remains of a broken alembic. Something, something, something. Okay. Good enough. I guess we'll go back to town. So it looks like I've got a pretty crummy little base of operations for now. Right Hollow, Caed Nua Keep, Eastern Barbican. Anyway, it's going to be fun restoring that keep to full glory. Rainy Zufal says, if you want to look a bit deeper into the mechanics of Pillars of Eternity classes and how to level them up, there's a channel on YouTube called Nerd Commando Game Studios. There are some really good guides there, though you might have to spend a bit of searching for the playlists. That's a good tip, Rainer. I appreciate that. Go back to the old Gilded Vale. Takes a whole day to get there, which means by the next time we go back to the keep, Bright Hollow should be completed. Go sleep in the common room. Everybody runs the same. This coffee has gotten mighty cold. The innkeeper smiles brightly at you. Hello again. Come to rest your feet a while? I'd like a room, please. Certainly. You're always welcome. Only 323 money, huh? Camping supplies. I don't suppose there's just a generic loot section. Different kinds of leather armor. Scale armor. That's probably better on my main than what he's currently wearing. Valiant clothing. Padded armor. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what, if any, of these things I should sell. Amethysts I can probably sell. Probably. Whatever. Oh man, another sleeping cutscene. I think we get that cutscene every time we sleep. Like I'm dreaming of stalagmites. Okay. Let's start with giving you a better suit of armor. Open helm, padded cap, helm, tricorn hat, cape. Reflection is a defense used to resist direct melee and range attacks. Area of effect defined by the character's class, level, and resolve. But so probably want to put that on Aider. So I don't know if you guys can hear the crowd noise in the background, but there's one woman's voice when she's speaking that is just like super audible compared to everyone else in the murmuring crowd. She's saying the word God a lot. Oh, check this out. So this guy already has like 3rd level spells in his spell book. Oh, that's pretty cool. But if I remember correctly, this costs money. 300 copper to learn Fireball. Interesting. Well, lots of upgrades for the spellbook there. Especially excited about Fireball. Rainy Zufal says, I think I'm trying to sleep now. 2 a.m. around here. Have a good time playing and see you around. Thanks so much for coming out, Rainer. Really appreciate you coming by and dropping some of your expertise on us. I think I'll totally check that YouTube channel out before the next stream. For everyone not leaving, we are going on Toby break in 2 minutes. I always say we when I'm broadcasting, but it's not like I'm Venom. I know I'm one person. Anyway, we're going on break in about 2 minutes for around 20 to 25 minutes. I don't know. You ever been to Defiance Bay? Maybe we'll go do a little quest cleanup here. Go take that friggin' bear out, for example. Climb up that keep. That'll be what we'll focus on when we come back from old Toby break. Oh, I'm gonna ruin that bear. Chump me when I'm solo, eh? I'll show you. I'll show all of you. First, I believe I have a grappling hook that's being begging me to climb this wall with. These aged walls appears to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Use a grappling hook. Give the grappling hook a few swings for momentum, and let fly. The hook lodges easily behind a pile of stones and upper edge of the wall. A few tugs on the rope suggest that it will stay put. Climb to the top. Rainy Zufal says, just a last tip, learn level 1 Chill Fog and Slicken for Aloth. Great spells, especially Chill Fog is #1 spell for bottleneck situations, and Fireball is at the lower end of the mediocrity, so I already disappoint you. See ya. That's okay, Rainer, I appreciate knowing it. Fireball is a classic of these kinds of games, so I'm not completely against knowing it, but I bet you there are better spells. I actually, when I first played the game, mained a wizard, so I learned a little bit more about at least the first 2 levels of spells, and Chill Fog, as you say, is indeed great. Slicken is also not bad, and can be set ablaze as well, which is nice. Anyway, excuse me, I'm climbing a wall. Look at that, camping supplies I didn't need. Blood Moss. St. Gyron's Horn. We got a great big convoy. We'll save outside the bear cave, and we'll do that first when we return. Hello. River Reeds. Okay, so it is 8:02, almost 8:03, and I will be back in about 20 to 25 minutes. Want to thank everyone so far who's come out to watch the stream. Especially want to thank our amazing subscription donator, MRA6, for his absolute generosity. Just so good of him. Thank you so much. Vale says, just got in to say hi. Sorry, man. At least I caught that before I ran off. Anyhow, we'll be back to fight this bear in about 20 to 25 minutes. I sure hope that there will be some people left to see that happen, because this bear is going to pay. And we're back. And I think I have a plan for level ups for at least my main character. So let's do it. Vulnerable attack. Bypass a portion of their damage reduction. Yep, I like it. Now, of course, I have no idea what to do with the other characters. He should definitely take athletics. I've been sneaking with him a lot, so we'll give him a point in that. Mechanics, survival. Nah, we good. That sounds good. Because the more people you can engage as a tank character, the better. And it's passive, so I don't see why we wouldn't take that. Okay. Over to Alof. Now, I do know me some wizard from playing before. We'll give him more lore. Put 1 point into the other ones. Okay. I get 1 level 2 spell. If I remember correctly, Miasma of Dull-Mindedness is a good one. We'll see if... Yeah. Arcane Veil, Grimoire Slam, Penetrating Blast. Conjures a protective shield of magic, dramatically boosting the wizard's deflection. Allows the wizard to smash an enemy with a grimoire energized with spiritual energy, causing large damage and knocking the target back. Concentrates the power of blast, negating some of the target's damage reduction. I like that. Ping. I can always change these later. Now for Durance, I've been enjoying him having mechanics. So let's boost that up. I should have given him a point of athletics, but whatever. Take burn damage from the increased holy radius. Condemns priest foes during any enemies in the area of effect. Faith of Margan enhances an accuracy bonus. The sword of Arbicus and special blah blah blah. Everyone receives less healing from the priest's holy radius, but the priest gains no. Extra buff of accuracy from the Radiance spell, eh? Having a per encounter thing seems pretty good, so we're going to take Interdiction. Finally, for this guy. What a dandy haircut. If anybody watching has any ideas, feel absolutely free to call them out. No wrong answers. Poleaxe, estocs, flails, wands, and warbows. I mean, he's using soldier weapons. He uses a great sword and an arquebus. So why wouldn't I do that? What does this do again? Whatever. It's a class skill. It's probably better. Alright. So with our newly minted level 4 party. Oh, I used the wrong guy. Ooh. Okay, well, right out of the gate, why wouldn't we use some level 3 spells here? Or level 2, I should say. Okay, Bear's looking injured. Is the cub down already? Alright, well, let's just mop this fight up. Why don't we? Yeah. Mice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Reach out. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you've been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back, the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you've come a long way from the Vale, hunting deer. Now you're standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards the light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain. But in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and a specter lingers. In the span of an energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. I met him on the road, your friend. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. You're dead, spirit. There's nothing for you here. The spirit roils with thwarted anger and grief. Sorrow seems to seep into the very air of the cavern. The spirit dims and fades, and you are alone once more. I think that's it for this map. So I think with the Barbican fixed, I can now go and pick up the rest of the NPCs. What house are we looking for here? This one, I believe.
Hello again, Ingrid smiles. I hope Gilded Vale has been kind to you.
I know what really happened in that bear cave, Naughton. The color drains from Naughton's face.
I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it.
Are you accusing him of something? Ingrid looks at Naughton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing.
Naughton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands.
What would make you suggest such a thing?
Stop it. I have no patience for cowards and liars. Naughton flinches but meets your gaze. After a moment he sets his jaw and nods.
Fine, I confess it. I did it. I saw to it he'd never leave that cave.
His hand falls to his sword belt.
And I'd do it again.
Naughton, wait. Ingrid raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave him the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it.
She looks away, expression pained.
Naughton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special. Someone kind, who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. She looks down at the satchels. We've some coin saved up. You could have it, if you'll only let us go.
Well, Pearlie doesn't get a second chance. You two don't deserve one either.
Blind fool! Naughton draws his blade. You won't take this from us. Not for that wretch.
Gotta be evil, guys. Gotta be evil.
Naughton, no!
Ooh, a ring of deflection. coin you'd saved up. Oh boy, that's a whole book. It's not that long. I'll favor you with some. The Deerwood, Part 2, The Broken Stone War. 16 monies. In 2626 AI, a group of farmers, while clearing farmland for planting, accidentally knocked down one of the ancient Adra menhirs on their land. This innocent act drew the ire of the native population and started what would come to be known as the Broken Stone War. When it was finally over, several thousand colonists had been killed, as well as hundreds of Glanfathans. Even though the war was technically over, the Glanfathans escalated their attacks on the settlers over the next 2 years, using vicious tactics that left many colonists, several military figures, an earl, and 6 thanes dead. Unable to stop the Glanfathan attacks, the earls elected Earl Edring Hadret to the position of Gref. Well respected and known to be a master of military tactics, he was tasked with dealing with the Glanfathan threat. Edring fought with the Glanfathans, led by Orlin named Regd, for the next 2 years. Neither side can gain the upper hand on the other, resulting in a tense stalemate between the two groups. Because of this stalemate, the hostilities slowly died off, and in 2631, the Deerwoodian people signed a treaty with the Glanfathans. Reg would step down, the Glanfathans would stop their attacks altogether, and Deerwoodian people would leave the ruins alone. This treaty angered the nobility in the Aedir, as it brought to a halt the supply of artifacts. Edring also tried to get the practice of slavery outlawed, but this was not successful. Because of this, the place between the Deerwood and Irgalanfath is uneasy and tumultuous. Small patches of rural violence still cropped up, but were easily dealt with as neither side wanted another war. I'll take your book.
I have received confirmation that Lord Raedric's heir was not born well. My lord has issued an injunction on all new homesteads until he can be assured that the village has been cleansed of Aethiosians and whatever undesirables that have brought this curse upon his lands. It would be best if you left town as soon as possible. I would suggest returning to your old home. There will be no place for you here. You may stay at the inn until you make the necessary arrangements, but I would not advise remaining long. I expect Lord Raedric will be most thorough in his efforts to purify this place.
This is outrageous! I came a long way!
Then you should have no problem continuing on. Trust me when I say it would be best if you were not here when Lord Raedric's men are dispatched from this hold. They will be looking for anyone who might have brought that legacy upon us, whose very presence might have polluted his wife's womb. They will extinguish all possibilities.
Tell me about Lord Raedric.
He comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since the Aedir times. Raedric II was an early supporter of Deerwood and independence during the Revolution, and the current lord's father perished in the Saints' War. Hollowborn began appearing in the Deerwood shortly after the war's end. Lord Raedric has taken it upon himself to purge the curse from the Gilded Vale. His measures have been severe, but necessary. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to have been enough to protect his heir. The Saints' War? Our age's most egregious example of man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Rhaedysaris decided that Requin, their living sen, was the literal incarnation of the god Aethys. Urgot wrinkles his pinched nose. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the Deerwood, supposedly from its allegiances to less worthy gods, but I've never known an army to conquer a land for its people's own good. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that year did to the worship of Aethys in the Deerwood. Lord Raedric's forebears had all been Aethosians, but after his father fell defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the Temple of Aethys here in town was shut down.
He points at a few ruined walls near the tree.
If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules.
I'd like to report a murder. The magistrate raises a brow.
As is your duty. What happened?
The man called Naunton killed his friend Pearlie out in the wilds.
A cruel and cowardly deed, if indeed it did occur at all. What evidence do you have?
I'll go find some. Goodbye. So we're going to be a little bit thorough. We want to make sure that we get every quest in the area before we move on. Oh, there's something in the Black Meadow I can do. Oh, I can go to that temple too. Well, we should go at least pick up a 6th party member, I think. But let's clear out any quests or anything here. Crammed behind the books is a drawing that shows Aethys and Lord Raedric in compromising position. Please leave me be. I am full of sickness with what I've seen of this place and its people. So, neat fact, I'm pretty sure anybody with like a name like these characters have will give you a watcher like conversation, and I think they are maybe even written by, but certainly named after backers of the game. So let's talk to Shakes here. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Let's see what it has to say. Reach out for the soul. You see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him with disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only the hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. And now he drinks here. Alright, well, let's go into the Black Meadow and get those supplies at least. Who's got that ring of deflection? I do not think you will ever see this, but you are right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if might live to hear it. I have put myself out of reach of the beasts circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. Ho ho, dear reader. So many stats. Alright, so we want to go to the Black Meadow. We didn't really explore the Black Meadow much. We were trying to get to Caed Nua. So I don't have enough money to be able to... So I need the main keep, and that's going to cost 900 monies. I currently have 232. Oh, what do we got here? A forest troll. Whoa, 3 forest trolls. Back it up. Okay, Ader's still standing, so far so good. Okay, 1 down. So far, this has not been a tough fight. Picked up a lot of troll skin there. And some blood moss.
Not a bad haul today. Watch the road, Willem. I'm itching to try the new blade.
And I'm itching. Oh, here they come. Eesh. Oh, I have to take that or... Oh, no. Well, that's pretty sick. Pretty handy that he can summon things. Someone carved the initials TRS into the log. I need you to deliver our haul for Kern to sell. He will not speak unless you know the words Ich niban Ilfidin. He's only found in the gift after dark. Scroll of Tanglefoot. I don't know who can use that. Anyone with lore too, I guess. Should probably sell some of my stuff, really. Ooh, mail armor, DR9. Compare. That looks way better ass. Alright, good job, party. Oh, another box. Oh, that's nice. Greasy chicken bones rattle around at the bottom of this crate. Forest lurkers. Ooh, that hurt. Gotta remember to use my blasts or arcane assaults. Oh, Ader's down. Just about. Oh, I got him. Ugh, I really don't. Okay. Ah, we got him. Good job, Ader. Oh, he's almost dead. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to use the camping supplies. Trees and shrubs have grown up around these ancient bones, surrounding this monument to Gallowayne. Beneath their leaves. Picking all the flowers. A couple more forest trolls. Bring these chumps down fast. Okay, we got one. Boom. Clearing out this meadow. Oh, what we got here? A wict. Oh boy. A lot of wicts. die easy. Real easy. That could have gone very badly. Take that, stag. A spare bedroll is laid out in this tent, but there's no sign of other kith. Dead adventurer. Fine warbow. Uh-oh. Hey, a potion. Well, not really having too much difficulty here. Another dead adventurer. Oh. Gotta remember, I have summons and stuff too. Wow, it's 9:30 already. Oh, let's head to the Wooden Plains. Attack was imminent, but your patrols staved off the enemy. I have patrols? Oh, man. Not going great. Canna's also down. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work out so good for us, guys. Okay, well, that's a definite low to the old quick save. Alright, well, let's go this way this time. Memorials. Once again, probably backed by, or supplied by, information on the backers of the game. Oh. How is this thing still standing? No, here we go again. Ouch. I think we got to rest after that little debacle. Need to make it to the left side. Guess if we stick to the road, we'll more or less be okay. Oh, look at this.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large, white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach. Easy, Itumak. It's not him. definitely come up with a better name or voice than that.
You seem lost.
She lifts her head and looks at you. I know exactly where I am. It's my friend who's lost.
Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend, but I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now. But I'll know him when I see him.
Standing around here is probably not the most productive thing you could do.
Perhaps not, but running all around the Dalewood isn't much good, so hasn't done much good so far.
The fawn next to her yawns. Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know whitewood when I see it.
She rolls her eyes and shakes her head.
That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
Try something? What exactly are you talking about?
The long version. Here we go. Her shoulders rise and fall as she takes a deep breath. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasatak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
Why can't you find him? There can't be that many of your people in Deerwood.
He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone.
How long have you been looking for Persok?
Her painted brows lower, her compact, muscular frame sags for just an instant. 5 years.
So you've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember? Who could be anyone now?
She gives you a slow, thoughtful nod. That about sums it up.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Feels like it some days. She looks down at the Adra figurine in the dirt. Especially when I can't get so much as a flicker out of that thing.
How does that statuette figure into it?
She dusts the figurine on her trousers and raises it in her small, flat palm. It's covered in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Adra is worn to a dull mat along its arched back and ovoid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within. Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok before we returned to the wheel. He left a splinter of his soul in it, something the Held was assigned him later. As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation. Not quite memories, but traces of someone. When I left Ness attack, it was completely dark inside, but as I've gotten closer to Persok, it steadily glowed brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark, other days it shines nice and bright for a few hours. But most of the time it looks like this.
I could take a look at it.
She eyes you cautiously. I've heard that before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Fort Vale told me he could take a look. For a few golden ducks, of course. I was on my way out of the Bale Marsh when I heard talk of traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. She shrugs. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Adra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes. And after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twinning trees.
Go on.
He thought he was being vague, but I knew the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place, right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
We could still go after that false watcher.
She swats at the air. I was mostly trying to scare him. I wouldn't really kill a man over a few gold pieces. I don't have much use for coin anyway. Besides, knowing his type, he's cleared out of town by now and spent whatever he made. May I see the figurine? She looks at the Adra and then back to you, her eyes narrowed. Why? I'm a real watcher. She chuckles. You expect me to believe that after the story I just told you? You've got nothing to lose by letting me try. Fine, but if you try to run, you remember that my arrows are faster. She hands you the figurine, her chapped knuckles grazing your hand. She watches you examine it, wary but curious. You raise the Adra, turning it to the light. Your eyes catch a tiny, glinting scratch. The scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through the eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Returning the figurine. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff. Oh, maybe that's not the best option. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Your question is greeted with shrugs and silence. I've got it. He's standing on a cliff. She looks at the Adra herself, turning a few times. What are you talking about? She looks back at you. What just happened? I told you, I'm a watcher. She blinks at you a few times, calculating. I know this sounds strange, but it's the truth. You realize I've got no coin to give you, even if I did believe you. Come with me. I've got other business in the area, and we can look for Pearsock on the way. Sagani looks at you, her arms folded across her chest. If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. She tucks the figurine into her pocket, and her fox stands, shaking its pale coat. Lead the way. I bet the fox is super good at sneaking. Sneaky fox. Can he loot things, though? That's the question. So there's still 3 more party members to pick up. I think we're going to move towards the city so I can sell some things and get my upgrades rocking. Take me 4 hours to complete my journey from Wooden Plains to Adelwan Bridge. Yes, that's fine. Some creatures and armor types are especially resistant or vulnerable to specific damage types. Specific. Craddock Bridgman.
Welcome to Defiance Bay, but watch yourselves in our city, understand?
Yes, sir. 15 minutes to complete my journey from Adelwan Bridge to Copper Lane. I guess. Ooh, some of the people you meet and fight in the world can be taken prisoner and held in your stronghold. That's going to be fun to do. Defiance Bay, the city at the heart of Deerwood's revolution, now seems to be on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by Wildwind's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling out for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate. So tensions are pretty stoked. Take it on over to the Goose and Fox. Welcome to the Goose and Fox. The man behind the bar is nearly the size of an Oamoa. A handle protrudes from his back, and his face is set in a stoic frown. He gives you a small nod. Here for a drink? There's a tiny pewter cup in front of him. He turns it in one broad hand, but doesn't drink from it. This is a lively place. It was founded in the early days of the Deerwoodian independence by a traveling scholar named Earl of Levy. He wanted a place where kith of all backgrounds could gather and hash out the issues facing their new country. He rests his elbows on the polished wood of the bar. Didn't take long for the place to fill up. Brackenbury aristocrats argued with dock workers from the Gift, while soldiers wrangled with politicians. Deerwoodans have never been known to turn down an argument. He takes a sip from the tiny cup. I'll hear the story another time. He nods. Can I get a room? I'll show you what I got. Common room costs 25. Okay. Probably sell a bunch of this leather armor. In fact, quite a bit of it. Oh, a yellow lab. That's kind of cute. That's just for selling my armor alone. Let's see about this stuff. So we're going to keep one of each type. Is there a way to organize here? Once again, I can hear that lady above all other voices. Quarterstaff we keep, battle axe we keep, mace we keep, rapier we keep, small shield can go. way less money that time around. Tempting to buy that yellow lab. Okay. So let's get the main keep. Okay, still don't have enough money. Close. Oh, right, my helmets and stuff. Well, no one's getting my tricorn hat. Ingredients, miscellaneous, lockpick. Well, not looking great for, surely I've got, like, these are all crafting items, so I don't want to get rid of those.